The key to successful weight loss is to heal from inside. Heal your metabolism and weight loss will follow as a side benefit. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Healthy Drive, episode number 8. I am so grateful to all of you for encouraging me. It is also a fact that many of you have told me that perhaps I should not be driving and talking. So I am doing this episode from my office. Today I am going to tell you the secret of successful weight loss. What you have to remember that obesity is not a caloric imbalance. Obesity is a metabolic disorder. So address the metabolic disorder, the body heals and weight loss occurs as a side benefit. How to understand this? So we will start with the 3 macronutrients which I described to you in episode number 3. If you have not watched my episode number 3, I have left the link below in the show notes. You can go back and watch it later. Now, basically there are 3 macronutrients, the carbohydrate, the protein and the fat. This protein is the building blocks of the body, and the body has 2 sources of energy, either the carbohydrates or the fat. It is like a hybrid engine, our body. It can tap into either carbohydrate as a fuel and fat as a fuel. Now, what is interesting to find out is that what determines whether the body will use carbohydrate as a fuel or fat as a fuel. That is determined by your blood levels of insulin. So, if your insulin levels are high, the body tends to burn carbohydrate as a fuel. If your insulin levels are low, the body then switches to fat as a fuel. Now, this ability to switch from carbohydrate to fat as a fuel is known as metabolic flexibility, and what it does is it activates a metabolic switch, which is the subject of a lot of research nowadays. And when the serum insulin levels are down, this metabolic switch is activated and this allows the body to tap into the body fat as a fuel, making you metabolically flexible. But if you are having hyperinsulinemia, if you are insulin resistant and if you are eating carbohydrates, especially the refined carbohydrates, then your body is stuck in a carbohydrate burning mode. It is stuck over there. So this is the reason why even if you exercise a lot, the body doesn't lose fat, because the body is hyperinsulinemic and insulin is a storage hormone. It clings to the fat and doesn't allow the fat to be burned. So what happens is, when you exercise a lot, you get a craving to eat more and more food, but that results in overeating and the fat is not lost at all. So this is the stage of metabolic inflexibility. Now, thanks to the eating pattern that we have nowadays, most of us have nowadays, the insulin level never really settles down throughout the day. It remains over the normal, and this does not allow the fat to be burned, except perhaps when you get up in the morning and your insulin levels are naturally low. That is nature's gift to us. But if you look at the entire picture of the day, fat burning is very, very patchy. Maybe it is low in the morning, but soon as we have breakfast, the insulin level goes up, and then we have lunch, and then we have snacks in between. So the fat burning is very, very patchy even in a normal person. So what if I tell you that you do not eat carbohydrates for breakfast? What if you eat instead of sandwiches and orange juice, you have bacon and eggs, or instead of parathas and puri and aloo sabji, you have mushroom and paneer? Then you are eating a very low carbohydrate diet, almost a no carbohydrate diet. What happens is, your insulin level remains low throughout the morning, and that allows the body to burn a lot of fat, as you can see in the picture. Now, if I extend this argument and tell you that do not have carbohydrate even for lunch, so then what happens? The insulin levels remain low throughout the day, and that results in a huge amount of fat burning. So that essentially is the secret of fat burning. Get your insulin levels down, and that is in your hand, because it is driven by nutrition, and the body will tap into the fat as a fuel. So when the fat is broken down, it is broken down into something known as ketones. Now these ketones are excellent molecules not only to burn fat, but also for other beneficial effects in the body. It is good for the brain, it is good for the heart. In fact, there is so much of beneficial effects that I will take it up in another episode. But for now, how to address and how to go about in a manner of eating which will help you to burn fat. So, there is only one mantra, that is eat real food. And what do I mean by real food? Real food means what is made by nature, what is God given, you could say, not made by human beings. Do not put anything on the table which your grandparents would not recognize as food. So, real food is what is, you could say green leafy vegetable, fruits, eggs, chicken and meat. You should also incorporate healthy fats along with it, because healthy fats are very essential for our nutrition. And absolute no to processed food, because the processed food and the ultra processed food which we all eat nowadays is responsible for many of the modern day lifestyle diseases. So, a thing which I have realized is human beings are the only creatures on earth who is intelligent enough to make their own food, but also stupid enough to eat it. So, a big no to all kind of refined breads, refined noodles, sugary drinks and sugary foods. So, this just shoots up your insulin levels, and you will never be able to lose weight if you eat them. A big no to alcohol also. I know you are going to hate me for saying this, but some of the alcohol is just like liquid carbohydrates. The problem with alcohol is two. First of all, it is a direct hepatotoxin, and secondly, when you take alcohol along with food, the liver recognizes that this is a poison and metabolizes alcohol first and keeps the metabolism of other nutrients on hold. So, this delays the entire process of metabolism and digestion. Hence, if you want to lose weight, alcohol is out. What are the other things which you should be keeping in mind? There are a lot of obesogens in the atmosphere. I am not going into the details now, but one thing you should keep in mind is Ajinomoto, which is nothing but monosodium glutamate, and which is not only present in Chinese foods, but also in canned foods and a lot of other fried foods which we tend to eat every day. So, this is an obesogen because this disrupts the leptin, which hormone, the hormone which gives the sense of satisfaction to our brain when we eat. And the other obesogens are could be nicotine exposure in the mother, could be DDT contamination and arsenic contamination. You can pause the video and go through this picture later on. So, what else? What else can you do? Practice mindful eating. So, mindful eating means before eating every morsel of food, ask yourself, what is this going to do to my blood sugar levels? What is this going to do to my insulin levels? You will get your answer. So, that mindfulness will help you to eat in a proper manner and eat less frequently. Eat only 3 meals a day instead of 3 meals and 3 snacks, and keep a good gap in between meals. If possible, come down to 2 meals a day with a good amount of gap. Yes, I am talking of intermittent fasting, but that is a complete subject in itself, and I will take it up in a future episode. So, another very important thing to remember, if you have stress in your life and if you have a sleep disorder, that needs to be looked into. I know it is very easy to say, but sleep disorder and stress disorders also tend to impact your insulin levels, and that can obstruct your weight loss. So, that is it. I am not asking you to go to the gym and strenuously exercise. I am not asking you to eat less and starve yourself and feel hungry throughout the day. If you eat in the manner which I told you, you will never feel hungry. Remember that the body burns on two fuels, that is the carbohydrate and the fat, and there is a metabolic switch in the body which you can activate by eating very low carbohydrate diet, and that activating that metabolic switch will help you to burn the fat. So, once again, obesity is a metabolic disorder. It is not a caloric imbalance, and by addressing this, by keeping your insulin levels down, you can burn into the body fat and lose the weight. That is the secret. So I wish you all the best in your journey of weight loss and good health. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and please don't forget to share it with your friends. There may be many who really need to know the answer. And if you have any questions, please write them down in the show notes below, and I will answer them for you. And I will catch you in the next one.